Hello and welcome back to Metaphor ReFantazio. We are in the ancient Eldan Sanctum, and we have to open the memorandum before we do anything else. Ancient Eldan Sanctum, a secret village of the Elder tribe located north of the Principality of Oceania. Hidden deep within an uncharted forest on the northwestern side of the continent, it is also the place of refuge sought by the prince after being cursed in Grand Trad. Once a small city located above ground in the forest, it was senselessly set on fire at Forden's command, which led its residents to move their domiciles underground to feign annihilation. The settlement is hardly glamorous and small by nature, but the Sanctum has nevertheless preserved the lost history and knowledge of the old world, giving it a somewhat otherworldly atmosphere. Knowledge of the old world, huh? Well, before we go in there, there's a couple of things I want to change. First of all, we are going to pivot back to Cleric for now.
The power of
because we want to level that. Anyone else that needs to be swapped around? We probably want to take out Juna for now and bring in Yufa, just because Yufa doesn't get full XP while Juna does. And then I think that will do for now. I didn't steal from Luis, I just realized. Yeah, I didn't even try and steal from him.
By the swan
It just wasn't part of our cycle. Honestly, the fight ended way quicker than I thought it would. So, I just wasn't really prepared to have to do it. But, now we've done that. Drop in a save. And let's go. Almost exactly 100 hours in as well. Well, I mean, we're 2 hours off, but still. 100 hours in, the game has completely changed.
Huh? This looks like... Who are you?
Are you alright?
My head's swimming. What is this place?
The royal flower? A surprise to see them blooming here.
Something about this place. Yes, the flow of Magla is strong here. It is much like the altar of the dragon god. The Magla in the air seems to be concentrated here. What is this place?
Gallica, something the matter? Your mind seems elsewhere.
Oh, sorry. I've got this weird feeling that something really important happened here. Anyway, let's keep moving.
Oh?
So here you are at last.
Zorba. Something really important happened here. A swathe of beautiful white flowers grown in clusters.
Why?
Before I left home, I never knew what these flowers... I never knew that these flowers represented royalty. But what are they doing within the ancient sanctum? Yeah, what are they doing here?
Why?
Same thing there. I mean, the prince is here, and the king used to visit here. That doesn't necessarily mean that there's any connection to those two. It could simply be that maybe the royal line started here some way back, or the flower was taken from here and then brought to the capital.
How odd. This place is clearly in ruins, but it doesn't look like natural decay.
It was burned to the ground. One day, a bunch of kingdom soldiers showed up out of the blue. Without so much as a reason. They made an inferno of the place.
But why? Why would His Majesty order such an atrocity?
Thinking back now, it may have been Forden who led the charge. I can't be certain, But if it was up to him, he would have done it just to purge the filthy Elda tribe.
Luis claimed that the Eldan people were just another form of the humans. If he spoke true...
They're not. There's no way.
I think there might be a way.
Anyway, more than half of the villagers died in the fire. And those who survived were forced to hide in caves. That way everyone would think they were wiped out.
'Tis a shrewd ploy indeed, to hide in a place the enemy themselves saw destroyed. Yet, why did Alcys? No matter. His Highness is in this cave, correct?
Yes, over there.
It looked like we got another vision. We were holding our head for a second. Oh.
What? That...
It's a dead Clamar.
He draws no breath. Likely a stab in the back. I doubt he even had time to shout.
I recognize him. He was the associate of the first operative I came in contact with. He was a lot more skilled than those Sanctist warrior monks. Now...
Gallica, the cave is just ahead, yes?
Yes. It's past the woods, over there.
Then we move.
I need to get to the cave.
I don't like this.
And those are fairies ahead. This Magla that I'm sensing, I'm worried about the prince. We need to hurry over to the hideout on the lower level. Anything behind us here? Agent's corpse. It's the dead body of a resistance operative. It looks as though he didn't even have a chance to defend himself. Who would do such a thing? Back as far as we can. Explore. Oh, exploring over here. Huh? Gold beetle. Thought there might be. Somewhere in here anyway. Well, let's see what's up with the fairies. A fairy? I feel like they'll feel a little alarmed if we swarm in there as a big group like this. For now, let's leave them be and move on. More fairies. We're disappearing. Definitely we're watching. Heisme up ahead. Already checking the bodies. Already digging a grave. Oh, it's not Heisme. Oh. He's just a fairly old Yugif man. It seems he's working to lay a body to rest.
Russell? You're safe.
Huh? My word. Is that you, Gallica?
Who is Russell and why does he get a portrait?
You were His Highness's tutor.
I know but one red-tressed knight. Are you the royal guard? The Lady Hulkenberg? By the heavens. Then...
She's been helping us. Everyone here is a trusted ally. They've all fought to save the prince.
Alas. Oh, what a tragedy. If this reunion had only been a moment sooner.
Russell, where is His Highness? What happened? Is His Highness safe?
A few days ago, those detestable cursed thorns finally faded. I cannot tell you how long I had waited to see them gone. It was truly a joy beyond words. It happened before we could fathom it. A lone stranger, a loathsome figure came striding in. His Highness had only just regained consciousness since the curse's lifting. Yet, to protect us, he threw himself upon the assassin's blade.
What?
We were horror-struck. His Highness lay pierced through the heart, and we saw him breathe his last.
No, that can't be true.
The stranger was a master of magic. None could match him. Of the Resistance's numbers, only I remain.
Who was responsible for this?
I don't know who the murderer was, but he cried his patron's name aloud as he did the deed. For Count Luis, From the moment he appeared, I believe his sole purpose was to kill His Highness. As soon as the lifelight left the prince's eyes, the stranger left, with only a smile.
An innocent boy. Twice tormented in the clutches of assassins. All because of the family he was born into.
Louise, there really is no evil you won't stoop to.
Please, Russell. Where is the prince?
We've laid him in the prayer room for now, at the end of the cave. He rests just this way.
You're coming, aren't you, love?
I must.
I must go to him.
You're right. Maybe we'll find some way to help.
Ah, I'd heard a rumor that there was a boy candidate who claimed to be His Highness. So, that was you? 'Tis just as St. Rilla said. You're no scoundrel. Indeed, you risked life and livelihood to see His Highness restored.
What do you mean it says St. Rella said? St. Rella spoke to the Sanctists. Would that imply that you are a Sanctist? I guess he could be. It's not necessarily that he wouldn't be if he was here. He may have merely been protecting the prince and he could still be a Sanctist, but still. You heard St. Rella's message. Or somebody told him.
Strange. Something in you reminds me of His Highness.
Something wrong?
No, it's nothing. Well, I will go before you to the prayer room. Once you are ready, you are free to join me.
So he can't remember something either. Someone's been messing with memory. Before I go to the prince, I think I'll help Russell lay this body to rest.
You going to stay here?
No. I must bear witness myself. As his knight, I must.
Russell. An elderly Yugif man first encountered in the ancient Eldan Sanctum. Alongside Grius, he was one of the aides who elected to secretly move the prince from the royal palace, and is the last of them remaining. A renowned scholar of history and politics, he was employed by the royal palace as the prince's tutor. While charging a Yugif with a royal's education was a highly controversial decision, it served to demonstrate the ambitions the former king had in his lifetime. There's the three of them. Don't see anything else back here, so I guess the only thing left for it is to see the prince.
I'm a little worried.
I need to get to the prince as quickly as I can. The prince is in the prayer room on the lower level. I don't want to believe it, but we need to see him for ourselves.
It's nearly time.
Okay. This voice. Down here.
Have I waited?
Long have I waited? Who are you, voice? Is it you?
Beg pardon?
Hold on. Did you really come here from outside the Sanctum? What's going on? No, that can't be. Are you truly Elda? Wait, she's an Elda, it said. Oh. These are Elda. I mean, look at the ears. These are all Elda. Huh. And yet we're the only ones with blue hair.
Hey, you.
Are you associated with the group that's been sheltering the prince? It's all because of them another calamity has befallen us. Now get a closer look at you. Are you Elda? I had heard that the prince was the only Elder within the Resistance. Oh, I guess these aren't Elder then? Despite being labelled as Elder? Oh, but within Resistance. I guess these guys might not be within the Resistance. Huh. Anyway.
You must hurry.
I must hurry.
The time has come.
These resistance members can keep on sacrificing themselves for all I care. It's not my problem. I guess that came out sounding a little cold. I suppose I can help carry the bodies away. There's too many for that old Yugif to handle all on his own. Oh no, you're definitely an Elder, I think. But they don't know of any other Elder within the Resistance, so they don't remember us either.
What?
Right past this door here is the living quarters, lady. Gurude made it strictly clear that it's not to be opened under any circumstances. You heard me, hurry along now. Lady Gurude. Is that potentially the person who's in our head?
All was for this day. There is still time.
Hello, fairies. Gallica, is that really you? I was wondering where you had gone off to. Oh, thank goodness you're safe. How are the others? The others? They're fine. It was just a bunch of people who died. More importantly, Gallica, we have to go gather petals from that flower patch in the forest. What?
Sure.
Oh, maybe later, okay? I'm still on the mission, so now really isn't the time to... You've changed, Gallica. You even started to talk like one of them. So weird.
What?
Huh? Are you trying to be a person? You're strange now. So Gallica has changed as well. Huh. But they do remember her. Hello, priestly man.
Hello there.
The prayer room is located further in. At the moment it's being used to mourn those who are no longer with us. I pray you don't cause a disturbance. Prayer room. The prince is just ahead. Are you ready, Graham? Let's go. Why is there a shop here? Such a weird thing to see in this area. Well, before we speak to the people in the center, the people who brought the prince to this village called themselves simply the Resistance. They feared a name would spread word of their existence. The numbers have gradually dwindled, and after today's tragedy, Russell is all who remains. Hardly Resistance now. Russell?
Hey.
Russell, the prince is... Oh, Highness, for you to forfeit your life in order to save ours can only mean we have truly failed you. There can be no atonement, no penance to match the magnitude of our failure. Over here? Hello, fairies. If we go over this way. Wizened attendant.
Come off it.
I've heard that the Elda are considered a sullied tribe to the outside world. Perhaps that's reflected in the current state of affairs. That child is royalty, yet his life has been defined by tragedy beyond anything I've experienced. Do you think that there are those who would see such a child as no more than prey to be slain? To look upon a mere boy such as he and revile him, their souls are truly cursed. Around here? Deliberately staying away from the prince in the center for now. Hello.
Oh, it's you!
Beyond here lies the altar of secret history, the sanctuary which houses the true story of our people and world. Kindly refrain from making any loud noises lest you startle the fairies. It's the room of true lore. Ooh. Hello. Ah, you're from the outside, aren't you? Hey, mind telling me what's going on right now? Nobody will tell me anything. They all just say, don't leave the house. I know the fires were scary, but it's all too much to be holed up like this. I, for one, have no intention of spending my life running between caves and forests.
Hello.
Beyond this door is the place the organization has been using as a hideout. Or should I say it was beyond this door? Other than the elderly Russell, the rest of them are. Perhaps we brought this on ourselves, but still, it's all so dreadful. Hello. The truth is, during the attack, I crossed paths with the assailant. He walked right past me on the stairs outside. At the time, the only thing that struck me was his unusual garb. Otherwise, he walked by so casually. It seemed nothing was amiss. It was only afterwards that I found out that he had just massacred all those people. I tremble. Even now, just thinking about it. Well, over here, we have a shop. What are you doing here? Shop?
Now what am I to do?
Quite the state our village is in right now, so if there's anything you need, now's the time.
Hello?
Stocking rarities from outside the village is my job. Isolation or not, we're far from self-sufficient without the outside world. We do have some understanding of the goings-on out there. Old Russell listens very intently to whatever I report. I'll tell you this emerald I got. What have we got? Sage's Pill, Ambrosia, 400 HP. Huh. I'll buy some of your Panacea. Yeah, I'll buy 8 of those. Your Ambrosia's too expensive. Weapons? You sell a 355 weapon for everything, for every class, huh? Huh. That's intriguing. That's very intriguing, actually. I'll buy this one. This is a 95 increase.
What
Yes.
do you think?
Definitely I'll buy the 95 increase. The rest I might leave, but that one was so much of an increase for a weak character. They have no other stats on... Well, actually, these have magic on them as well. They don't have great stats on them. This is basically the I didn't equip myself and I need gear before a fight. I understand what this is now. I'm going to go a little closer. I don't know why I keep making new saves. Hello. To be completely honest, there are those within the Sanctum who think ill of both His Highness and the Resistance. But life is priceless, and for him to have died in such a way, at such tender an age. Let us pray, so that such tragedy is never repeated. Offer your prayers not to any idol, but to the God that dwells within. The God that dwells within? Within you? Hello, fairy. Tactless fairy. Wow, this man-child woke up after such a long nap and then went right back to sleep. You've got it wrong, he's not sleeping. Why'd you look so sad? In fact, why is everyone so sad? Just play for a little bit and you'll cheer right up. This person wakes up, we should play together. We should play to make the sadness go away. The rest of the fairies are completely disconnected except for Gallica. There's another fairy over here actually, as well. I completely missed this one. Bubbly fairy.
Oh, wow!
Huh? Gallica, is that you? Wow, long time no see. Oh wow, Gallica, the funniest stuff happened while you were gone. Your friend totally fell into a pool, or into a pond. It was hilarious, and then, get this. Are you busy or something? You look tired. We should talk more later though, okay? Alright, your friend is further in. I think you're late. Friend is further in. I think you're late. Friend fell into a pool? What friend are we talking about?
This way.
No. Your Highness.
Why? I didn't realize anyone still remained to weep over this child.
Who are you?
Huh? Gallica, you've returned.
Milady Gruade. It's been a long time.
So this is Gruade. Does she know who we are?
May I ask who this is?
She is the chiefess of this village. The hermitess Gruade.
She was kind enough to shelter the entire organization when His Highness fled to these woods.
I can't believe he's gone. I'm just some parapus orphan from the slums. I was never supposed to outlive any prince. Was he killed here?
No, it all happened in the bunk room in the back. We moved him here to the altar once all was quiet. I don't know if you'd believe me, but I received a revelation. Should the prince die, his body should be kept safe and still here until the rightful day comes.
The time is now.
Even if the boy is but a bastard sired by that despicable man. He is still Her Majesty's son.
Her Majesty's son? Despicable man? There's many questions I have.
Despicable? What, you mean the king? Wait, who's Her Majesty?
Thank you, Basilio. Those were my questions.
Do you know nothing of the child's mother?
No?
The boy was not brought across borders to us. He was born here, in the ancient Sanctum. His mother was our past chiefess, the queen of our Elder tribe. She was a flower amidst the forests, a woman of such beauty, grace, and kindness. She saved this child from the flames, and it cost her her life.
So, Gruide is acting like this is not a surprise, as in, the prince's mother is not a surprise. At least to her and to the people around. Like, this isn't a revelation she's giving information. We grew up in this village. We knew the prince. We were best friends with the prince. And yet we don't know who the prince's mother is? When it's not hidden knowledge? At least not hidden knowledge within the village as far as this whole hermitess is concerned. That's intriguing information.
Her death is on that man's hands. Like a piper, he wandered in and seduced the young queen with his idealistic tales. But he failed to protect his family and died powerless. The village was only set ablaze because the boy was in the way of the Sanctus Church's designs on the throne. And that insipid king could do nothing to stop them. But you see, this boy, His Highness the Prince, looks so much like Her Majesty. And so... You there, boy. Are you perhaps... No, it can't be. And yet...
Yeah, she doesn't know who we are.
Is something amiss, Milady Gruide? He is one of Gallica's allies. His loyalty stands with His Highness, and he has risked much in the prince's name.
Gallica's allies. Most people would see Gallica as our ally. At least that would be how they'd frame it. They really have no idea who we are.
Whoa! What's with the formal introduction? You were the one who gave us our orders in the first place.
Yeah, actually, I forgot we saw her. We saw her so long ago, I completely forgot. And I forgot about Russell. I'm having memory issues.
Hurry.
I hear that voice again coming from somewhere.
Hey, are you okay?
The time has come. Here thou camest to the end of thy journey. This secret place was home to thee. Now remember thy path thus far. Walk thy life's road and see it anew. I have been waiting for thee to overcome thy trials. Long have I waited for thy return. Know this, his life is not yet ended.
Well, that's great. What do you mean?
What do you mean?
It all started on that ill-fated day when the usurper thought to extinguish his light. Before he fades away, recount all thou hast seen and felt, all thou hast gained in thy journey's course.
I look now to the past. I see the roads I traveled on this journey.
Gallica and thee sought to take the head of Louise, but thy efforts came to naught. So, ye moved instead to join a tournament to decide the land's king.
In the prince's name?
In the prince's name.
Though thy plan was reckless, thou didst win the trust of the people by the support of peers and subjects alike. Thus, thou didst declare thyself the prince.
It was all for victory, or it was all a mistake. It wasn't all a mistake, it was all for victory.
It was all for victory.
After overcoming many obstacles, thou didst finally lift the prince's curse. Yet by the cruel machinations of another, the young prince
Is no longer with us or lies dead before me. Say is no longer with us.
He is no longer with us.
Thy sole mission was to save the prince. Bereft of him, thou hast no further reason to live.
That's not true.
That's not true.
If the prince is dead, wert thy efforts all for naught?
Well, he's not dead.
He's not dead.
So thy resolve is yet unbroken. So be it. Thou hast earned the truth. He was consumed by the curse, and was taken by a deep, abiding slumber. Yet his soul remained alive, so from his earthly form, I extracted his soul, that he might travel the land in Odyssey. And thus, his stilled sands began to flow once more.
What the hell? I just realized I was right. In the hushed honeybee before we fought Luis, I had this thought that we could be split from the prince. Is that true? Are we the prince all along? Because we've split away from him? That's why nobody can remember us, yet people find us familiar?
Thy journey hast taken thee far, and taught thee much. So now I ask thee, who art thou?
I'm the prince. I am just a traveler. I am the prince's friend. I am no one. I guess correctly answers the question.
I'm nobody.
Indeed, thou art nobody, and thou hast nothing. To name but a few, thy parents, memories of thy youth? Hast thou any recollection of where and how thy youngest years were spent? Yes, thy memories begin the moment thou befriend the prince. Dost thou suspect the reason?
Because I don't have a past.
I don't have a past.
As I said, thou hast nothing. Thou art a being of mine own creation. 'Twas Gallica alone who the Resistance laid their hopes upon all those days past. Thy life had yet to begin.
Wait, they sent Gallica on the mission alone? That seems awfully reckless.
All thou hadst, all that had been bestowed, was a memory. Thy mission to save the prince. Thy memories of youth in the prince's company, and the void enshrouding all else in thy past. All signs of thy conjured existence.
I have nothing?
Nay, the words of the prince in thy memory are unmistakably of his true heart. The memories gained on thy journey, the friendships made, the trust forged. These true things art thine own. All thy trials, all thy experiences wert to prepare thee for this day, to share the strength thou hast gained with thy other self.
My other self? Well, I'm going to say, do you mean? Because I know what she means.
Do you mean...
The trust and friendship I've gained has been there to support me. But if they'd known I came from nothing, that I am nothing, would people have stood by me, believed in me? And the same goes for the desire to help anyone in need. How is it that I've touted such a laughably idealistic belief this long?
Accept the truth, and thou wilt face an ordeal beyond any you have yet faced. If thy desire is instead for freedom, thou mayest still abandon thy mission and end it here.
Is that right?
I see. My true identity is...
So I bid thee answer my final question. Who art thou in truth?
I am the prince.
I am the prince.
What is this? I feel a curious resonance.
Could this be? But how? Impossible.
Hey, what's going on?
What awaits us now?
Ah, life is not yet lost. Thou wert born apart from the prince's flesh, born of his desire to change the world. In his stead didst thou travel the world. Thou didst support his heart, and became his living fantasy. That is thy true self. Thou art everything the prince sought to be, his ideal. It all began with the novel in thy possession. Drawn by the divine relic, Magla coalesced into flesh, and flesh coalesced into form. The form of an elder, as I once was. Time hath come. Awaken, reborn anew. No more the prince's dream of utopia thou wouldst chase. Nay, but thine own.
What? What is this?
We have had a major change. And the fact that the bodies just disappeared into nothingness and refused here. This is crazy. I like it though. I like it a lot. I'm also very interested to see what happens if you refuse, but for now.
What's happened?
Thou hast done well to guide him this far.
This voice. I'm sure I've heard it before.
Thy mind should now be clearing. Remember now thy true charge. He was never a member of the Resistance. The mission, the departure, was thine alone. And thereafter didst thou encounter him.
Who are you? Wait, what am I saying?
In those long ago days, he had just been born into this land. Newborn in form, if not in appearance, the boy needed a guide. Thus, I decided his memories would be thine. Thou wouldst share past and purpose, a memory so crafted to suit thee. My journey to the capital would not be made alone, but alongside him.
No, that can't be. He was there when we got our orders.
I never thought I would have to ask this of you. But there are so few of us left now. There is no one else to turn to. Will you infiltrate the military to deliver a message to our contact there? This is your mission. For all our sakes, you cannot fail.
So, I guess she was going to sneak in. But I was just thinking for a second there, how is Gallica going to join the military? It just doesn't seem feasible. But I guess she would have just snuck in. She didn't really need to do what we did.
No. But I was alone?
By this choice, he might be saved. By these gentle, necessary lies, we could live to see this day when our dearest wish is fulfilled. As he traveled alongside thee, he gained both strength and wisdom. It is only by thy efforts that my voice reached him. He has now been saved. And so the journey ends here. Thou hast fulfilled thy mission admirably.
What? Wait just a minute. What do you mean it ends here?
From here on, thy path is thy own. Choose thy own future for thyself, and may the fates smile on thy journey.
How do we make sense of this?
Is it really you? How do you feel?
Let's say we feel lighter. Like a great weight has been lifted off our shoulders.
I feel a bit lighter.
There seems to be no doubt.
Oh.
He is still himself, but I also sense His Highness within him.
Let me hear that line again. Not that one.
I feel a bit lighter.
The last word.
I feel a bit lighter.
And actually the feel as well. It's, he would previously say something like, I feel a bit lighter. And now it's, I feel a bit lighter.
I feel a bit lighter.
Oh. Our voices changed with the prince rejoining.
Everyone? I need to tell you something. The truth is,
I'm the prince too.
So let me get this straight. You're saying it's not a matter of our captain and his highness joining together, but that the former was this disembodied entity sprung from the latter?
You got it.
Then that's why he had no memories? 'Cause he didn't even exist?
I see. Finally, I understand the strange feeling I had sensed upon our meeting. What shaped you, so to speak, was the prince's will itself, a part of his consciousness. Yes, the prince's very heart. He was his soul given flesh. Perhaps the form we knew was one shaped by material magla, much like how the dragon god manifests beyond the vessel Drakadios.
a mass of magla with a will. Forget the dragon god. He may as well have been a dragon himself. Small wonder he awakened to an archetype before anyone else. It was no great aptitude for magic. He himself was composed of pure magla.
The self, as a manifestation of one's desires. Similar to archetypes. I suppose this is the very essence of magic.
You mean to say that it was not merely pretense to claim the prince's name? He truly was His Highness all along?
And I guess that means in a way, Hulkenberg was protecting the prince all the way along his journey.
If that's true, This is finally your reunion with your sworn liege. Seems like cause for rejoicing, eh? Lady Hulkenberg of the Royal Guard.
But I failed to protect His Highness.
No. I am sure the strength of your devotion had a hand in saving him.
While all and sundry believed the lad had shuffled off, you alone kept the faith, milady. And in the end, that faith was rewarded.
Fate was changed.
Are you really His Royal Highness the Prince? Please, forgive me, Your Highness. I failed you when you needed me most. And more, despite being a member of your Royal Guard, I did not recognize Your Highness at our meeting and showed you such insolence.
I pronounce your sentence. Let's say you've always been an ally.
Actually, you've been there for me this whole time.
I don't know if I'm gonna get used to the new voice.
He's right, you know. If we'd not met you, we'd certainly never have made it this far.
This time, I will protect you. Even should it cost me my very life. I swear to it.
Finally, we've done Grius proud. We've really done it.
By the way, what are we supposed to call you now? I mean, how would you prefer to be addressed, my lord?
The same way as always.
Captain. Same as always.
No, Your Highness! With all respect, I must object.
This is no time to be thick-headed, Miguel. He's the one who gets to decide what we bally call him, so we'll listen to him, eh? What?
You, sir, should be begging His Highness for forgiveness on bended knee. You mangled the royal runner to your own whimsy, you lout!
Well, that is. I mean, it was all dashed useful in the end, wasn't it? A bit of clemency, Your Highness.
So much for acting same as always.
Evening.
It's beyond belief. Not just that a child who'd lain cold for years could come back to us, but through such extraordinary circumstances. After so long in the curse's thrall, he could not even open his eyes. He may as well have been a corpse. But all this time, he had been on his own journey. It was the boy's dearest wish. He spoke of a fantasy of traveling the world, meeting its people, seeing its truths. And without him even knowing, magic made it real. He is a child of Eldan blood and Eldan legacy. All these years he spent in the village, he has rested near the secret of true magic. Perhaps this is how it came to be.
His was a fantasy surpassing fantasy. It became more than a dream, but a self-possessed force acting of its own volition. And now, reunited, Prince and fantasy live anew.
A journey to discover and reclaim the self, in all senses. No wonder he set off the custom igniter in the Royal Gauntlet Runner. It was the Crown Prince himself.
Even having it all explained like this, it feels like nothing short of a miracle.
I can only guess that fate had a hand in it.
That's right. I remember, I heard a voice. Guide him, it said.
A guiding voice?
A voice? Whose?
If you can't remember anything from before our journey, then we probably met after you'd only just... happened. Right? I shouldn't have known you then. But for some reason, I was convinced that we'd always been together. I thought we both received the order to save the prince, too. Ever since the moment I heard that weird voice guiding me.
A voice? Lady Gruade mentioned a revelation. Hold on, are we still being mystic and metaphorical, or was there an actual guide involved?
Metaphorical, eh?
I know someone was guiding me. I just don't know who.
So a disembodied voice. Hang on. Come to think of it, that sounds a bit familiar for me too.
Hey, who do you think the voice belongs to? Any idea?
Our mother? Sort of?
I have a faint idea, but I'm not entirely sure.
Come to think of it, this place, the light coming in, they seem familiar.
I might say the same. When I first acquired this power, I had a vision of somewhere not unlike these grounds.
Does this mean that we've been guided as well?
Perhaps someone has been at your side unseen, watching over the course of your journey. I imagine all this comes as a great shock for you as well. But here you are, back in your rightful place. You have come to the end of your arduous journey and found new life. It is a life well won, grasped with your own two hands.
Chiefess Gruide, we want to know everything. What is the truth behind your tribe, the Elder? We Mustari are also said to have inherited truths of the world before us. Histories hushed by Sanctism. But this village, it is something altogether different. I myself feel a strange familiarity here. A lost haven underground, yet letting of the sky's light. Please, tell us, what is the Elder tribe?
Is she gonna say we are humankind?
To know what we are, you must first know our history. Come to the altar room past the door. I'll wait for you there.
Oh, I'm itching to go through. It's so much lore just beyond that door. But we have completely changed. Look at this. Even in the menus we've changed. Yeah, I guess we're not really Grem anymore. Grem doesn't really exist properly. We're the prince. Huh. Well, with that, I'm going to end the episode there. And I think we're going to return to this when I'm back, because I want to see people's reaction. I can't believe that I was right about the splitting in two thing. Yeah, not quite the way I thought, but definitely, that's crazy. Yeah. We may do one more episode in between, but I don't think I'm going to go forward to the lore. What I might do is I might see what happens if you refuse. Because I was told very early on in the game that there are multiple endings to the game in the same way that there are multiple endings to some of the Persona games. By that, there are dead ends, basically, right? Like there's a golden path that takes you all the way to the end of the game and through all the bosses. And then there's paths that just end because you've made a choice that means that it does not continue and the story does not go the way it was meant to. But I am interested to see what happens if you do that in this case. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.